Not too bad. Yeah, that should be enough. Nice autumn day. It's been raining the last 4 or 5 days. It was raining this morning, but sun come out. Wind started blowing, drying things up pretty nice. I figured today would be a good day to get out in the woods. Leaves are starting to change. That's how wet it still is out here. Some of the trails, half the hillsides, just wet, muddy clay. Although, there's a deer track though. Another one over there. I like this spot. Nice pretty rocks, trees, between a couple hills, so the wind is not as bad. Got a nice stream, creek, brook, whatever you want to call it. A flowing body of water, but although I have to admit, as much rain as we've gotten the last 3 or 4 days, I thought I thought it'd be flowing a lot more than what it is. But at the same time, we've like the last part of summer and first half of fall has been pretty dry for us. So yeah, I like this spot. I think it'll do just fine. Not bad, huh? Really like a sog hawk. It may be tactical, does not mean it can't be practical. And in my book, it's pretty fucking practical. Thumbs up on the sog hawk. Sorry for the shaky camera. Clean out a spot for a fire. That should do it. Now what I'd like to do when I'm making a fire, because I like to put a layer of wood down. And that acts like a barrier, so you're not drawing all this moisture from the ground when your fire starts. It's not sucking all the moisture, because you can see how wet that is. And I take this back log right here, and what I use that for is these two sticks to rest on. And that way when you set your smalls on there, you can pick these two sticks up and adjust the height so you don't, when you throw your bird's nest or however it is you're starting your fire, but you can pick that up so you don't smother it, you know, and let the flames wick through. Now you saw me earlier collect that cedar bark off that tree. I was using the back of the Mucking cans bowl, and I was scraping off using the back of the knife and grabbing some of that bird's nest. Well, some of it's dry, it's still pretty damp, but it's what I call a possum mentality. I didn't really plan on using this for today. This is for my next fire. And that's what this little pouch is, because I've done that a few times before, is the stuff in this pouch is the fire from this time, and I collected this the last time I was out. So it's nice and dry. Already fibered up. And that's what we'll use to start a fire. Yeah, today we're going to cheat. Well, not cheat. We're using Flint and Steel. Today I'm going to cheat a little bit and just use char cloth. And I hope I can get this on camera, because as you can tell, I'm a really great photographer or cameraman. Actually, I'm just an idiot in the woods. Oh, thought we had it there for a second. See it? All right, we're going to place that jewel right in there. Camera get a little crazy here. Let that set a second. Let it percolate. See some smoke going on. Start blowing. Hopefully I get you guys in camera. Or get me in camera, or in frame, whatever. So sorry about the shaky camera. Remember I was mentioning those sticks earlier? So now I could pick up the whole thing. So instead of smothering it, I'll let the flames wick the bottom of the sticks and hopefully take off. I've done this a million times, but you watch since I'm doing it on camera, stick it on YouTube, and for MTO, it won't take. I look like a total noob. Oh, I think we're good. Like I said, sorry about the shaky camera there for a minute. I believe we're good. Alright, fire's taking off good. Add more wood to it. Now what I do is I'll take this, I'm just going to set it kind of over here, and I'll let that dry out as the fire burns. Then that will go back in this bag right here for the next fire. This is my homemade fire steel I made out of a whole piece of file and a torch. The other bag I made. Yeah, luckily it took off the first time around. Makes me look cool. Oh yeah, fire's going nicely now. See it right over there. Of course, it's way over there. My stick is not even hitting it. Almost looks like it though. It almost looks like it does. That looks slightly wrong, don't it? Action beer shot. Oh yeah. Alright, so I've been using this Mora cans bowl for a while, and I promised after I unboxed it I'd use it for a while and give you guys an update on it. And I gotta tell you what, it has been an awesome knife. I mean, the spine, I mean, just look how fine of a feathers that makes, which is great for aiding you with using a ferro rod. But I mean, it cuts twines like a Dickens. Feather sticks like nobody's business. I mean, the thing is just absolutely brilliant. But I've been using it on the farm. I use it at work. And I mean, it's a great everyday carry knife. And the nice thing about it on top of that is you could use it as an everyday carry knife, man. I've scraped, you know, gaskets and cut cardboard, twine. Had hay wrapped up on a roller on a hay bind. Had to use it to cut all the hay loose so we could get the hay bind freed up. And excels and all that. And then you could turn around with the same knife, go straight into the woods, and now it's a bush knife all of a sudden. And where this narrows down, just like the Mora 2000, and I didn't show any footage of it, but I was cutting up some deer meat a couple weekends ago. A couple of my buddies, they were bow hunting, and they got themselves a nice buck, and they got a doe too. Actually, there was 2 deer harvested, and I used it to help skin and cut up meat with it, and it did an excellent job. I could see why a lot of people use it, especially overseas, as a hunting knife, because it excels at it. Very good knife. Now another knife I've been using off and on is the Mucking 510. And it's a basic knife. High carbon, thank God. I love high carbon steel blades. Although, I have to admit, for being stainless steel, I tend to like high carbon steel, but I gotta admit, man, this and the Mora 2000, man, I have been impressed with their stainless. I love it. But anyways, I've been using this and the Mora Triflex pass around, and this come from England by the username Zed. And I gotta tell you what, Zed, I really love this knife. I thought about sending it to Grath R, the guy who hosted the Triflex Mora pass around on multitool.org. And I thought about sending, or like I said, I was going to send it to Grath R. And I gotta tell you, yeah, I'm thinking I might not. I was going to just send it to him because, you know, he did, you know, the pass around with his knife and everything. Although, I am going to hook the Grath R up. He hooked me up a long time ago with that Mora 2000. So I got a few things that's going in the package anyway. So Grath R, if you're watching this, I got a few things for you when I send the knife back out to you. But no, I've been really impressed with this knife. It's got a nice thin blade. It backs up my bushcraft black, but I mean, it just, you could see just how thin it slices and cuts. I'm making feathers out of a feather come off feather stick. Maybe that's not that impressive. I mean, shit, there's people way better at this than I am. But I have beer and a fire. And I've been really impressed with this. I thought about just turning this into a necker knife. This would complement my bushcraft black perfectly, or any knife. Hell, my Mora Cansbull, it would definitely complement it real nice. But I do believe this knife would hold its own if it's the only one you had. I believe it'd do everything you'd need it to do. Beautiful knife. Love the purchase on it. Thanks for sending it over the pond, Zed. I appreciate it. Now I'm just debating if I give it to the Grath R or send it back to you or keep it. I know the instructions said that whoever wanted to keep it, they could. I like it. And of course, wouldn't you know it, the clouds start rolling in. They don't look like rain clouds yet, but I figure I got a while yet before I have to head back. My problem is once I get into the bush, freezing, don't want to come out. Anyways, been a good day so far. Well, stuff is starting to dry out pretty good. Got some dust rolling off of it. It's still a little damp, but you could probably use it. But go ahead and stick it in the bag, because by the time I'm out here the next time, this will definitely be more than dry enough. Throw my char tin in there. Now normally I just use punk wood, but the reason why I had char cloth because a while back my brother and I we were doing a fire demo for a I can't think the technical name of the group, but anyways, there's a bunch of like a Renaissance fair or a medieval fair. You know, there's a lot of people, you know, fighting with swords and doing all kinds of cool well, stuff they used to do in medieval times, carvings. It was just a big medieval / Renaissance fair, and they had us asked us, my brother and I would come in and do a fire demo. And of course, I like the Flint and Steel. And my brother, he has a nice fire piston, and he was, you know, showing the fire piston off. And so we just made a bunch of char cloth. We had an old pair of pants, wasn't worth a damn, ratted out. You know how it goes. So we just charred the timber. We just charred the pants and made char cloth. Normally I just use punk wood or fungus, like oh crap, I can't think of the name of them now. But yeah, just charred punk wood generally. Anything that I can find in the woods is what I tend to use. That way it's always self-replenishes. Because yeah, you're not really going to find, you know, cotton in the woods, and then, you know, unless you start cutting shit off your pants or, you know, your clothes or something like that, and that's going to be kind of counterproductive. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. I suppose I ought to let this burn out. Grab a bunch of water from the creek, make sure she's all put out. Hide the fire, you know, leave no trace, all that. But until then, cheers, gentlemen. Whoa, that looks like horse shit. Man, it smells like horse shit too. Yeah, it tastes like horse shit too. That is definitely horse shit. Step right over that. Thank God I didn't step in it.